My foster father began calling my pregnant foster mom the tenant, tossing her mail. You ever have a moment where everything you thought was real just shattered into a million pieces? Because that's exactly what happened to me when my foster dad, the man I looked up to, suddenly stopped loving his wife the moment she got pregnant. At first, I just thought he was scared, overwhelmed, you know? But then, I saw something darker, something truly chilling, slowly consume him. It was a betrayal so deep, it still gives me goosebumps thinking about it. Just 1 month before, they were practically glued at the hip, kissing and laughing so much I'd have to tell them to get a room. 8 weeks later, her baby bump was just starting to show, and it was like a switch flipped. Suddenly, he was faking phone calls when she tried to cuddle on the couch. The recliner became his fortress, and I'd catch him staring at her belly with this look of pure, unadulterated disgust that made my stomach churn. At the grocery store, he'd march 5 feet ahead of her, like he was ashamed of how she looked, leaving her to struggle with all the heavy bags. One time, her shirt rode up a little, showing some stretch marks, and he actually audibly gagged. He started insisting she only wear baggy clothes around the house, saying he couldn't stand to see her looking like that. I'd even find him staring at her old photos, openly asking her, where did that beautiful woman go? Every single night, she'd still reach for him, but he'd sleep on the absolute edge of the bed, back turned, too grossed out to touch her. In the mornings, as she struggled with her shoes, her belly making it nearly impossible, he'd just stand there, watching with that same disgusted look. It was like her body getting weaker, just because she was carrying their baby, was something to hate her for. I remember asking him why we never ate dinner together anymore, and he just looked directly at her belly and said, it's just easier this way. Soon, he started introducing her to everyone as the kid's mom instead of my wife. His coworkers didn't even know she was pregnant until she visited for lunch one day. The worst part was my cousin's birthday party. He turned it into a public shaming. My aunt, all excited, rushed over, you must be so excited about the baby. But he just stared at Elena's belly with such hatred. My aunt actually stepped back. Someone asked about her due date, and he just walked away mid-conversation, leaving her to answer alone, embarrassed. He wouldn't say, we're pregnant. It was always, she's pregnant. When Uncle Pete congratulated him on becoming a dad, he went silent and just stared at Elena like she was the ugliest woman in the world. I tried to tell someone I was excited to be a big brother, but he cut me off, big brother to her baby. It was brutal. At dinner, when Elena wanted a second plate, he made a nasty comment about her getting big enough. When her own mom tried to defend her, to make her feel good about her body, he stood up and made a huge scene, leaving early. That's when he started taking over my bedtime routine, saying, Mom needs her rest. First it was once a week, then every night. Mom's tired from the baby became his constant excuse, even when she was sitting alone, just wanting company. I'd try to ask her questions, but he'd intercept, don't bother Mom. When she couldn't play outside anymore because walking was harder, he'd shake his head and say, Mom's different, Dawn. T missed the twist, watch the full story, link is attached below.